Hey, what's up guys? My name's Daryl. I'm the personal trainer and health coach, and today we're going to be going over some basic movements you can do at home. We're going to start with these 5 basic movements: squats, deadlift, push, pull, and rotate. Once you know these 5 basic movements, you can pretty much do anything. And trust me, you can do anything. Alright guys, so we're going to start with the squat. This movement is something that we use every single day without even knowing it, from sitting down in your car, in your couch, or on your computer chair. So the proper way to do it is to have your feet shoulder width apart, okay? If you need to point your feet out just so you're more comfortable, go ahead and do that. Our goal here is to just make sure this movement is something that's comfortable for you to do, so that you can go ahead and progress it and correct it along the way. So we're gonna start with this movement. Like I said, shoulder width apart. You're gonna come down into a 90-degree angle and come back up, come back down, and back up, come back down, and back up. So what we wanna do with this is make sure that as you're going down, that your heels stay down on the ground. You're not so much focusing on your toes to do the work. If you're starting to feel like your knees are starting to hurt, it's probably because you're putting a lot of tension towards the front side of your body. So just go ahead and kick back and relax. Do about 10 to 15 reps of these to get started. Okay guys, the next movement's gonna be called a hinge or a deadlift. Same thing, feet are gonna be shoulder width apart, and you're going to make sure to point your hips backward as you come down while keeping your body straight. You should feel a stretch in your hamstrings as you're doing this. All right guys, what we're gonna do next is a push movement, and we're gonna start with a basic push-up. Here we go. Okay, so when you're doing a push-up, you wanna make sure that your core is tight, your abs and your glutes are engaged. What you wanna avoid is this movement right here, where you're dipping in, where your body's sinking. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind is when you're doing a push-up, you want to make sure that your elbows are not flaring out when you're doing a push-up. This will make sure that you reduce the chances of shoulder injury and make sure that you maximize your gains as far as push-ups go. By that I mean coming down at a 45-degree angle versus flaring out shoulders up top like this. Okay. This puts a lot of load on your shoulder joint and can wreak a lot of havoc as far as injuries go. So you just want to make sure you're in a proper, comfortable spot when you're coming down on the push-up. All right guys, so the next movement's going to be a pull movement, and we're going to start with a basic standing row. Here we go. All right guys, so obviously part of this is finding a way to make things work, right? So we're gonna use this tree today as a prop and help us do a back workout. So for a standing row, all I'm gonna do is use the resistance band tied around something sturdy. I'm going to be in a slight squat position. I'm gonna have my body tightened up and chest forward. And when you're doing a row, you want to make sure that you're squeezing your back together as you're pulling backwards. Okay, so as I pull, I want to squeeze my shoulder blade together and release. Okay, pulling, release. 2, 3, do a couple more, 4, and 5. All right guys, the last movement we're going to do today is a rotational movement. So I'm going to use the same resistance band from earlier. Again, I'm going to be in a nice slight squat position, tightened up at the core. Make sure that when you're going from right to left, that you're actually feeling it in your left oblique, okay? When I switch it over to the other side, you want to make sure you feel that in your right oblique. All right guys, thanks again for tuning in today. Hope you learned something new, and we'll see you next time.